All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up staff accounts so that your team can get in the system and start doing what they need to do. So to set up a staff account, we're going to navigate to setup over here on the bottom left-hand side. We're going to click on staff, and then here is where we can start adding our staff members. To do that, we're going to click add staff, and then we're going to give them their name, of course. So let's go ahead and say that it is Bob Burger, put in his email account, and then we can select their permissions. So selecting their permissions is going to give them access to specific parts of the system. Now, obviously, you don't want all of your employees to have access to all of the parts of the system. So here you're going to be very specific with assigning them the parts of the system that match their roles. So for example, let's say Bob is our designer, so he needs to have access to the blog perhaps, and he needs to have access to our funnels, and he needs to have access to our programs and our website. So we can give him those permissions and not give him access to any other parts of the system. We can then go ahead and hit save. From here, we want to go ahead and make sure that Bob can access the system. So you're going to come here to actions and make sure to send them their password. You can also do what I am going to do right now and reset their password for them, create a dummy password for them, give them their login details, and tell them to reset their password when they log in. In this case, I'm just going to set a password for Bob and then log in as him to show you the difference in the system accessibility. So let's go ahead and create a password for Bob and hit reset password. All right, so now Bob will be able to log in. Now, a few other things that you can do here. If you scroll down to the other section here, you'll see our permissions. So you can go ahead and edit whatever permissions you want them to have. So whatever parts of the system. You can also set up staff notifications for them. So they're just going to receive blog post comment notifications. And don't worry, I'm going to get into that in more detail in the next video. And then you can also assign them to a warehouse. So if you have a physical warehouse, then you can assign your users to the warehouses in which they work. All right, but let's quickly go ahead and log in as Bob. I'm just going to open this up in an incognito window and log in as him to show you the difference between access levels. All right, so let's log in as Bob. And there you go. You'll see that Bob only has access to our programs, funnels, and blog, and as well as the website. So that's just a quick example of why it's important to assign those permissions to your staff users. So that is how you can set up your staff accounts. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to set up notifications for staff users and yourself.